And before we get into the phone lines, I believe we had an opening email question I'd like to go ahead and address. My mother slipped on a wet spot at the grocery store and twisted her ankle. She said there were no warning signs or anything. She talked to the manager about it, and he said they would call her. This was just the other day, and no one has called yet. But it really hurts, and she got a doctor's appointment for it this coming week. Is there anything she should be doing if they call or if they don't? And that's Maria. Maria, that's a personal injury question, so I'll take that one off the bat. Lots of issues there. First and foremost, that is something that is, that's what we call a slip and fall case. And that's dealing in this particular situation with a transitory foreign substance. Fancy way of saying something that wasn't supposed to be on the floor, water or some other object. Those types of cases are it's very, very critical that you get assistance and help immediately, because very likely there are going to be camera or other surveillance system in that store that you need to make sure is preserved immediately. Because what is critical in a case like that is not just that there was water on the floor. That is not going to be dispositive of the claim. It's going to depend on how long that water was on the floor, because they are not strictly liable for your accident. They have to have been negligent. So I say it depends on how long it was on the floor, because if they had created the condition somehow, possibly they are directly liable. Otherwise, it depends on how long was that substance on the floor, because it could have been another customer, for example, that spilled their water when they went by. The store didn't create that condition, but now if it exists for a certain period of time within which it should have been reasonable that they should have observed it and rectified the scenario, then they are going to have liability. So please reach out to someone immediately so that they can assist you with that, because this is a scenario where you're going to need to make sure, first, that you can lock down liability and make sure that you can establish that there is culpability on the premises owner for your accident. And then B, you need to make sure that you are getting the proper treatment, medical and otherwise, to make sure that you can be in the same position as you were, or as close as you could be to where you were before that accident happened. So those types of cases, as much as any, need to be dealt with quickly. And you want to make sure also, it's too late for this now, but just as a cautionary tale, when something like this happens, you want to make sure and immediately report it to the manager there. Get an incident report, document it. As we say often in this show, Rick, everything in life in the legal world is document, document, document. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. Maria, I hope that we can help you and get you on the right path, because that's something that needs to be dealt with. And Rick, I know, as I just mentioned in that personal injury question, that documentation is very important.